What is up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic Tuesday. If you see any scam ads on this video, please do not participate in those. So I made a video yesterday. Right after that, Brad Garlinghouse had announced to Fortune that the SEC was pursuing a case against Ripple for the sale of unregistered securities since 2013 in the form of XRP. So I want to dive into this a little bit tonight. I am certainly not a financial advisor. I'm certainly not a lawyer. I do not have a legal background whatsoever. I'm just going to present what we have here so far, and also kind of go over some of the true colors that have been shown throughout the digital asset communities across the board here. Some of these major quote unquote influencers, however they want to determine themselves. So, personally, regardless, I would very much so recommend you guys look into this. This announcement, the actual SEC announcement came out today. SEC charges Ripple and two executives with conducting $1.3 billion in unregistered securities offering. This is really interesting to me because we know that Jay Clayton is bowing out before the year's end. So this is essentially, this is going to be a landmark case involving, the third largest digital asset, period, with multiple $1 billion in market cap, essentially being sued and called a security via the SEC. What's interesting is if you start reading through the SEC's document, they've had 7 years, I think they say from 2013 to 2020. Ripple has been working extremely closely with these regulators as much as they possibly can. We know that in the UK, they do not consider XRP to be a security. In the UK, if you've actually looked into it, they have 3 different classifications for digital assets, okay? They've got security tokens, they have utility tokens, and they have exchange tokens. And then there's kind of this hybrid one where they combine certain ones. And they deemed XRP to be a hybrid token, which is a mix between a utility and an exchange token. We know that in Japan, we had Yoshitaka Kitao basically state, in Japan, XRP is not deemed a security as well. It's just crazy to me that we see, like, literally, what is it, like 7 days before the year ends right now? And before, like right before they have a changeover in power at the SEC, that this is Jay Clayton's final bow as the SEC chairman. So I don't know. I'm not one to sit here and believe that this is all a show, but it's just crazy with the timing of all of this. And we do know, just real quick as a history, Jay Clayton does have a history of meeting with Ripple. This is August of 2018. We have Jay Clayton just met with Ripple, and the only people involved in this meeting was Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, who is a CTO, or Cryptographer 1, which we'll see here in a second, and John Roscoe, Special Assistant to the President, White House Office of the Presidential Personnel. That is from his calendar. So we also know, and this is, Fame 21 More, XRP Darren, if you're not aware, I am not going to share this video with you because this is on his YouTube. I certainly would not take credit for that. But this is SEC Node Law and Regulation of Cryptocurrency. The SEC, because obviously the XRPL is decentralized, opted to run a node. They did not need Ripple's permission to run a node. If you do not know what run a node is, it's essentially you have a computer operating and validating the network. It's a fancy name for a computer, right? The SEC certainly chose to run a node on the computer. This was in January, I think, of this year. Again, if you want to watch this video, go and check out Darren's YouTube. And real quick, just on my plan, what I personally am doing right now, I've seen too much with XRP, the utility of XRP. I've seen what Ripple has been trying to do, trying to build out this internet of value. Certainly Ripple holds XRP. They are the largest holder of XRP, right? They escrow it. They give transparency reports on a quarterly basis. I don't know what else to say. There's a lot of comments in this complaint from the SEC that almost seem like a jaded girlfriend from high school, that just broke up with her boyfriend. So I'm not sure what to make of it, but I am certainly not going to sit here and tell you what to do with your XRP. If you feel like you need to sell your XRP, then sell your XRP. If you feel like you want to hold on to it, certainly do that as well. My plan is to do what I've consistently done over the past 2 years here. Pay more attention to what's going on. I don't trade XRP personally. I know that there's a drop in price over the past 2 days. We could certainly go lower. We could certainly bounce up. I don't know. But I plan to hold. I plan to dollar cost average. You know, and it's just dangerous because we've seen so many people that are involved in the XRP community directly talking about Ripple needing to compensate XRP holders because of XRP's performance. That essentially is stating that XRP is a security, right? That's nonsense. I don't expect anything from Ripple. I appreciate that they see the utility in XRP and are trying to build upon the ecosystem. I understand the origins of XRP. I understand that, you know, some of the individuals that may still be at Ripple were founding members of XRP, or what was it, OpenCoin or whatever. But I'm certainly not going to speculate on how this turns out. I just know what I'm personally going to do. I'm going to continue paying attention and make moves accordingly based on me paying attention. I will try to dollar cost average, but I always preach on this channel, only invest what you are 100% willing to afford to lose completely, and that there will be multiple winners. There will also be multiple losers. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how this case is going to end up. But I do know that Ripple, the company, has been extremely transparent, in my opinion, unless we get some groundbreaking news that they haven't been. And I also know that Ripple, the company, has been an innovator and trying to innovate in this digital assets and blockchain ecosystem, trying to bank the unbanked, trying to help out with some of the correspondent legacy problems that have existed for, what, 50 years now? What, like 1972 or 1973 was SWIFT, until now it's 2020. And certainly they have the backing to try to facilitate that innovation, and they're doing whatever they can possibly do to do that. It is what it is what it is right now. I'm just going to pay attention, and wherever this goes, it goes. You know, you guys, you know, you all invested into XRP for a reason, and I hope that it was through your own due diligence. I will certainly continue to present this news. I am certainly still a supporter of XRP, the utility of XRP, and I'm a supporter of Ripple, the company, as well. I believe they've been transparent. Unless some groundbreaking news comes out that I am unaware of, I will continue to do the things that I've always done. And, you know, we see that Jay Clayton's tenure ends at the end of this year here. It's just crazy that they dropped this bombshell like 2 days before Christmas. And we will see more about that here in a second. If you want to get into the actual... you know what, let me go through this first. So, you know, these are just individuals showing their true colors here, okay? This is Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. He retweeted, this is David Schwartz, the CTO, Chief Technology Officer at Ripple, and he changed his name to Cryptographer TAC1, which I actually thought was funny because the SEC announcement just like literally labels 4 or 5 individuals at Ripple by like these super arbitrary names like Cryptographer 1. The United States is one of the few countries where regulators will, after years of you operating in full light of day and frequently updating them on everything you're doing, turn around and tell you that you should have known you were breaking decades-old laws all along. Now, what's interesting is we have, you know, there has been a settlement in 2015. Stuart Aldertoy had posted about that as well, essentially stating that XRP was a currency. That was in the United States. That SEC posting also goes into that, saying that that's irrelevant. What's also interesting is just how closely Ripple's been working with regulators, trying to be transparent. And now this is like a last parting bombshell drop by Jay Clayton. And, you know, we can see Brad Garlinghouse here. I appreciate you saying this. This is a Bitcoin maxi. This is Ryan Bitcoin Selkis. And, you know, he goes in through this list here. What is really important, I think, that everybody needs to realize, whatever your opinion of XRP is, whatever your opinion of Ripple, the company, is, if you step back and look at this, whatever happens during this SEC case certainly has implications and will have a cascade effect on a lot of other companies that operate on a decentralized basis in the blockchain and distributed ledger technology ecosystem. And, you know, this is a groundbreaking case. Whatever the outcome may be, this is going to basically be the path forward for a lot of different companies here for the next, decade or whatever in crypto and digital assets. It's going to provide a lot of transparency as to what companies are doing now and how companies should be operating potentially in the future. But that's kind of a nonsense statement, right? Because we haven't even been given... Ripple's been trying to work with regulators, and, now the SEC drops this bombshell on them. They've been trying to be as transparent as possible and to stay on top of all these, fragmented rules from these different regulatory bodies. So this is just really weird to me. We will see where this goes. We can see Yoshitaka Kitao, Japan's FSA, already made it clear that XRP is not a security. So that's Brad, right? Just basically, he went on CNBC today. I believe it was CNBC. I watched it. This was actually funny to me. Jay Clayton is taking notes from the Grinch this holiday season, leaving the actual legal work to the next administration. And if you click on Brad's likes, and this dude messaged me too. At the end, the Grinch gives everything back and more, and Brad liked that. So Brad comparing the SEC to the Grinch, and then this is OXXRP42 at OXXRP42 on Twitter. I actually looked up this, and I was like, that's crazy. That's funny that Brad liked that. I messaged Darren, Fame21 More, and he's like, yeah, the dude messaged me and said that Brad liked this comment. So don't look anything into that. Brad has probably liked multiple comments here, but all right, Charles Hoskinson, who we all know as IOHK. This is Cardano, ADA. Very much so standing on the side of Ripple with the facts that we currently have, which is, my opinion as well. I'm only going to operate under the facts that we have. I'm certainly not a lawyer. I'm not going to try to interpret things. A 71-page document, which you're going to see here in a second. Now, I did read through it briefly, but I'm waiting for somewhat of a layman's terms perspective on this lawyer jargon and this SEC jargon that, these blockchain and crypto firms can't even operate under the current guidance. So how am I going to sit here and interpret this and present it to you as fact when they come out with a document? But I'm certainly going to present it to you, but not going to present it as fact because I'm not going to interpret the whole thing. So this is more on Ripple. I very much so suggest staying active and paying attention to what this gentleman says right here, as well as multiple people in this crypto space. I'll play maybe a portion of this right now. This is 20 minutes here. He's basically in the very beginning of this just stating how odd this is. The timing of this is unprecedented. It's very odd.
Learned a little bit more about what's going on with Ripple. I'd go ahead and keep you guys in the loop. So there's indeed a Wells notice, it looks like, was sent to Ripple, which is why they replied. And they did a very unorthodox thing where they actually released a summary of their Wells submission.
Now, we will go over this Wells notice as well. This actually came out last night. I found out this morning because I was sleeping. Bank XRP actually shared this last night. This was an initial response by Ripple, basically arguing their stance on this subject.
Which is the rebuttal. So generally what happens is if the SEC is going to go after you, they do something, they send you a letter or a communication called a Wells notice, and then you reply to it, and then they make a decision whether to file a lawsuit or not. Generally speaking, if it gets to the Wells notice stage, about 4 out of 5 times they pursue an enforcement action. About 20% of the time they drop it, give or take. So anyway, in the show notes, I've included a summary of Ripple's Wells submission response. It's about 6 pages long, and they provide kind of a factual background and introduction. They go ahead and provide a little bit of an analysis with the Howey test, and then they kind of ended on some policy reasons why it would be problematic if Howey was applied. So there's a lot of stuff here. It's a pretty meaty document, and it's a very compelling response. So based upon the response that they have, it's obviously dependent on facts and circumstances. It doesn't really look like the SEC has a very strong case. The other thing that's incredibly puzzling is the chairman of the SEC is going to be leaving here towards the end of the year. And so basically this colossal, very high-profile securities case would then be handed to an interim chairman starting next year in a completely new political administration. So it's very, very strange, very unorthodox, never really seen something like this before, and it's typically not done. They mention on-demand liquidity products. They mention statements from the DOJ and FinCEN back in 2015. They mentioned the unique node list and the validators, where the supermajority is not in the hands of the Ripple company. And it definitely is going to have an impact on the space as a whole if it continues its way through. So most likely outcome is that nothing is going to happen in the next few weeks. And if there is going to be a filing in court, that's probably going to occur January, February time horizon.
All right. Well, I think Charles saw this Wells response here probably yesterday. No, this was earlier today, actually. And he responded again, stating moving faster than he thought. And this is the litigation, the actual complaint against Ripple, the filing, which came out a little bit earlier. Before we get into that, I wanted to go through a little bit with Gatron here. I know that many of you have probably been blocked by Gatron, but one of the most realistic individuals in the XRP community, if not the most realistic. And just going down through here, he's just going through some of the thoughts here as well. And after reviewing the official SEC complaint, they're proposing extremely harsh repercussions for Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse specifically. This unfortunate news will be quite potent and difficult to defuse until a settlement offer is made. So I know he's done quite a bit. He's touching base on that portion of that Charles Hoskinson video that I just showed. Now I suggest that you go to Charles Hoskinson's Twitter or however you can get on to watch some of his content. And if you are watching my channel and you have no idea what Cardano and ADA are trying to accomplish, brilliant. And I always say that there are multiple winners in this space. But now this is Stewart XRP. This is actually, I watched this today. This was on CNBC. Brad speaking about, this was on Power Lunch, about a little bit about what's going on right now. But this was super brief and not a lot happened during that. Now we see true colors coming through here. Obviously, this is Vitalik Buterin. And he's talking about the Wells response by Ripple here and basically calling XRP an SHIT coin. That is crypto jargon for like garbage coin, which is interesting because Vitalik actually tried to get a job at Ripple years back and basically stating that Bitcoin and Ethereum are Chinese controlled is one of the policy reasons that Ripple has claimed that XRP shouldn't be deemed a security. I think he's probably taking a little bit out of context there. We are trying to keep the innovation in the United States as much as possible, which I think, I don't know why he isn't necessarily on board with that. I am an Ethereum supporter. Ethereum 2.0 has taken forever. We know that the fees on Ethereum are ridiculous. It's just interesting to me to see the rhetoric. And I don't know, maybe this is a derivative of, the Flare, Spark, and all that, those initiatives as far as tying XRP into smart contracts and into DeFi as well. So I don't know. We will see where this ends up. But I just wanted to present people's true colors here, and this is also this is Anthony Pompliano. This gentleman here just presented exactly who he is as a human being. And he has had Brad Garlinghouse on his show twice. He owns quite a bit of Bitcoin, owns quite a bit invested into these, like this mining firm, apparently, from my understanding. If you don't know, he does dope stuff in real life. He's invested $100 million into early stage companies, including multiple unicorns, and writes a daily letter to 90K investors. So very much so a one-upper type guy. You could take pretty much anything this individual says with a grain of salt because it's all loaded based on whatever is going to put more money into his wallet or into his Bitcoin account, whatever. But good morning to everyone except the people who thought they could sell unregistered securities and get away with it. What's interesting to me is that when Brad Garlinghouse was on his show last, he asked if the Communist Party of China could essentially try to upset the network of Bitcoin, take control of the hash power and do a 51% attack, thereby causing a double spend or, defrauding the network. And Anthony Pompliano obviously, you know, completely saying, no way that's possible, right? So just a complete idiot in my opinion. But, you know, I have seen some smart things from him before in the past. He's not stupid. You know, I call him an idiot, but that's like almost me calling him kind of like an a-hole, because he has loaded verbiage behind everything that he says, because it's all to line his wallet, in my opinion. And it's just, to me, it's completely unprofessional. I know that I have had my arguments with people in the XRP community before. I've tried to do it from a moral basis. I understand sometimes it may come across as jealous or whatever. I could care less what you think of me. However, if I had somebody on my show multiple times, I brought them on my podcast, and then I go around and try to stab them in the back whenever something comes out, just because it gains me likes, it gains me potential whatever, that is complete trash. And that's like one of like the most, I don't know, it almost makes you like want to gag when you see people put stuff out like that, because just seems to me like this individual would be one of those people that would like smile on your face and then, you know, talk about you behind your back, which is exactly what he did here as soon as he had a quick opportunity to. This is Charles Hoskinson's talk, and this is what he talked about. This is the summary of Ripple's Wells submission here. Because we are all in the XRP community, obviously you've probably seen this going around on Twitter. I will certainly post this link down in the YouTube video as well. There's way too much to get into here in a video, and I'm certainly not going to do that, because this would take me probably 2 hours. And we're all going to interpret this differently. So this is Ripple's, this is essentially Ripple's commentary on the Wells letter that they got, or whatever, the notice that they got. This is commentary back to the SEC. Now we have the actual SEC announcement, the filing, which Charles had stated that happened much quicker than he expected to occur. But what really is interesting here is the SEC complaint. And this ties in with David Schwartz stating that he is cryptographer TAC 1, age 51, a California resident who served as Ripple's chief cryptographer until July 2018. Now, this is like 71 pages long. I'm certainly not going to read through this entire thing as well. Because if I did that, it would just be one side, and we haven't seen any sort of rebuttal yet. I'm waiting to see how this all plays out. I'm going to post the links for all of these down in the thread. Again, I think that whatever happens during this case is going to have massive impact on multiple companies that are currently operating, that haven't been pursued by the SEC, that hold digital assets for their ecosystem growth, which is essentially what Ripple is still doing. You know, and these assets that have utility, these digital assets, they're innovating they're going to innovate and change the world. And the USA, which is really pisses me off, is all this innovation is going to be moving away. And, you know, we do not need that. We don't need, Bitcoin doesn't, I get it. Like, I'm not saying that investing in Bitcoin is bad, but from a utility standpoint, it's had multiple use cases that have already failed, right? Now, the only use case left really essentially of Bitcoin is this store of value rhetoric, which what happens whenever a digital asset with utility usurps Bitcoin for any reason why that happens? Then that store of value, right, because it's with Bitcoin now, essentially moves to the number one, right? And I don't know where that use case goes. And we know that the majority of hash power is in China. We know that Ethereum, a lot of it's in China. And I support Ethereum. I don't hold Bitcoin. I do hold Ethereum. I just don't like all the backstabbing in this space, because we've seen Brad Garlinghouse, we've seen Ripple say that they support all of these digital assets. This ecosystem will grow or die together. This seems like a last-ditch attempt by the old guard to, you know, potentially stifle this innovation and not allow it to move somewhere that they don't want it to go, because they want to have a stranglehold on us, the people. And I'm not okay with that. And, you know, regardless of what happens with this, I certainly am going to be paying attention. If news comes out that changes my mind on Ripple and XRP, so be it. I haven't seen anything yet that has done that. Ripple's been transparent. I'm not personally selling XRP. I probably could have made a decent trade there if I would have done it yesterday when I initially saw the news. I'm just not doing it. I diversify. I have my XRP bag packed, and that's where I'm at. And whatever you guys decide to do, certainly do so. I will support you guys with whatever decision you want to make. And I will certainly continue posting news as it comes out, you know, but I'm going to pay attention to this. And, you know, as more news comes out on this, we will certainly be discussing it on this channel. I'm sorry to get so winded on this. And, you know, this gets pretty heavy when you talk about some of this stuff. But I did want to say very much so, and maybe I'll say it tomorrow too, but this is money, okay? Unless you've over-invested in this space, and I understand it's your hard-earned money. You know, we have had a horrible year, and I wanted to wish you, your family, a happy holiday. If you're Jewish, happy Hanukkah. If you're not and you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. My family and I celebrate Christmas, and, you know, I'm sure I will see you before then, but, you know, there are more important things than money. But this is very important to us because I consider the XRP family, I consider what we're doing out here and trying to present research on a daily basis to be pretty noble if you're trying to do it right. And a lot of people's livelihoods are on the line with this stuff. I care about you guys all a lot. You know, this is like extended family. So we'll see where this goes and just go from there, all right? I love all you guys. I'll talk to you later.